Well, hello. Welcome back to my YouTube channel called Heart Refinement for Teens. As you can tell, I'm a little bit positioned differently in my office. The other side has the flow charts on it. That's where I stand to do my teachings at. On this side of my desk, I do a lot of face-to-face talking. I do a lot of virtual consulting sessions. And I'd also do a Zoom meeting if somebody needed my help. I would put them on my laptop or something, and this is how you'd see me sitting at my desk. My last video that I did for my Heart Refinement for Teens, I talked about patience. Patience is a pivot point, it goes up or down. Okay? What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? Well, if you want to know more, please keep watching. Well, what I like to do first off is I like to put an image on the screen of the flow chart of the fruit of the Spirit. That's what I'm teaching you. So first thing that you can see is love, joy, peace, and patience. Okay? There are feelings of emotion. Okay? So when we feel something, those are emotions that we're feeling. Remember that spirit is the non-physical part of a person, the seat of emotion and character, otherwise known as the soul. So when you see the word the spirit of God's fruit or the fruit of the Spirit, that's what it's referring to, okay? So we want love, we want joy, we want peace, but we need to have some patience in order to have those things. Why? Well, let me show you a pivot point scale, okay? Remember me talking about that patience was a pivot point. Okay, so I'm going to put some words on the screen next to me as I basically do this presentation for you. So if you remember that with love is something that we want, but the pattern of the world gives us, what does the pattern of the world give us? It gives us um, things that are unwanted, right? So if we're going to endure the pattern of the world, we need to have some things in our life, okay? So what do we want most of all in life? Okay, what do we want most of all in life? I want you to think about that for a second. What do you want more than anything in this world? How about patience? No, we don't want patience because we don't want to have to wait for anything, right? So patience isn't something that we really want, right? So what's the thing that we really want? How about peace? Okay, I want peace. Okay, what I've done is I've gathered some pennies here, so we're going to show you why patience is a pivot point. So this pivot point, I'm going to block my face here for a minute. This pivot point can go up or down. It can go this way. It can go this way. Okay. So it's going to go up or down. It's going to change slightly. Okay. So I want peace more than anything in my world, right? So let's put peace right here. Okay. Let's throw a penny in there. Did you see that move a little bit when I want peace? Okay. So it's going down. It's not really balanced, isn't it? Is it? But what we want is we want a healthy, balanced emotional state of being, right? But what happens here? The weight of the world brings me worry. Okay? Okay, so did you see how it moved there again? So now we got worry on one side, but we've got peace on the other side. We want peace. Part of this world is to make us worry. So we've got a pretty good balanced scale here. I think we're balancing pretty good. But when we have worry, we can start feeling miserable because those things in our life are not working out. So you see worry on this side. Now let's put some misery on this side. You see how that dropped? Okay, but what do we need to have the opposing nature of misery in our life? We need joy. So what is joy? Joy is knowing and understanding who Jesus is and what he's done for us and what he's doing for us. Okay, so we got joy on that side, as you can see on the wall there. You got that word, okay? So sometimes our misery can cause us to be a little bitter on the inside. So we got bitter. We put bitter over there. Okay. So the bitterness of the world is what we don't want. And if we don't get what we really want, we're going to maintain an unbalanced emotional state of being. So we want love, so we have to bear that love. Okay, now we're pretty much balanced again, right? So where does patience come in at when we want to have that peace, that joy, and that love? Okay, the world brings us worry, misery, and bitterness. That's what happens, okay? So those things, if we stay in the pattern of the world, they're going to cause us to become frustrated. Okay, see how it just changed? So why is patience the pivot point? If I stay on my frustration because I have bitterness, I have misery, and I have worry, I'm not going to have a balanced state of being, am I? So I need to have patience to get the peace, the joy, and the love that I need. Okay? What happens if I don't maintain bearing the fruit of the Spirit? Remember the crutches that I introduced in the peace virtual consulting session? I had to bear my weight on those things in order to not hop. I wanted to walk smoothly. Okay, so Jesus and the Holy Spirit, they carried my weight. Okay, let's do something a little bit different. Okay, let's take our pennies out. We've got 8 pennies. All right, so we got a balanced scale again, right? It's pretty much balanced there as soon as they stop spinning. Pretty much balanced, okay? So the world's pattern, when we don't have love, it brings us bitterness, okay? So when we don't get the joy that we need, or we don't know how to find that joy, we become miserable people, okay? When we don't get the peace that we want, the world's pattern brings us misery. Are you seeing the scale starting to tip now? Okay, so if we're not patient to keep the love, the joy, and the peace that we need, we become frustrated with it. Okay, so then what happens is we become harsh towards those people in our life. So when we don't maintain the patience to get our love, joy, and peace, we lash out with a state of being. Because let me put the chart back on the screen in front of me now. Now we have kindness, goodness, faithfulness, and gentleness. Okay? So the ness is a state of being. It is necessary to have kindness. It doesn't say kind, it has kindness. So what's the opposing nature of kindness? Well, it's harshness. So let's throw a little harshness in there. Oh, see what happened to our scale? We forgot to maintain our peace, didn't we? And we forgot to maintain our patience. See how twisted that is? Then we're so frustrated, we're becoming harsh to people, and our harshness turns to evil instead of goodness. Okay? Goodness is a state of being. It's how you respond to your environment around you. Okay? So when we don't have goodness, we start to doubt. We start to get the weight of the world down on our thing. So instead of having goodness, we have evil. Okay? But we can be pretty dishonest, and we can be doubtful of our faith. Remember, patience is a pivot point. We needed to be faithful, to understand that God is faithful to give that to us. So when we don't have the faith that we have that doubtfulness that God is not going to take care of us. Then when we start doubting that God is who he says he is and that he can work in our life, we act out in violence instead of gentleness. See how unbalanced our state of being is because we're not maintaining our patience to have the love, the joy, and the peace that we need in our life. My friends, that in itself is what heart refinement is all about. We want a balanced state of being. We want a balanced emotional feeling in our heart. That's what heart refinement is about. What I'm going to do next in this video, I'm going to guide you, not in this video, but in this playlist series, I'm going to guide you into 7 gifts that God gives each one of us. And sometimes we don't have all those gifts, but those gifts are what motivates us spiritually. That's where I'm going next. And I want you to understand that when we operate in what motivates us, we can be either motivated to the pattern of the world, or we could be motivated to the spiritual heart of God. Okay? I'm going to show you that and teach you that a little bit in my next few virtual consulting sessions in this series that I'm doing. Until then, my friends, may God bless you. May His light shine upon you, and may Jesus always bring you joy. I'll see you soon.